Now, just to finish up on that, you know what the other thing is I'm going through this here morning is I was looking at the stuff that was going on, and if you look through my notes and stuff, recently I was saying, and I didn't like what that's going on in WWE with The Rock down there in Texas and doing the stuff. I'm not saying The Rock's a bad person, but that whole goddamn poor sport attitude on the WWE wrestling, you know what I've been thinking myself is something bad could happen in the United States of America. And I fucking even mentioned it, how strong I felt about it. And that very thing happened in Russia, and they shot up a goddamn Russia thing right there. Okay, I'm getting a feeling like something goddamn bad's gonna happen. A bad fucking shooting in a goddamn big auditorium. You know? And I just want you to know it's a goddamn gut feeling that I get and I got. And I'd hate to have something like that happen here in the United States because of a bunch of goddamn poor sportsmanship. You know, when I see goddamn sports, I see a fucking football game. I got 2 goddamn referees out there with whistles and stuff watching the play. If somebody gets a technical foul, they get fucking a penalty. But when you're dealing with this, you don't get no goddamn penalties for saying lies. Where lies is the goddamn normal and telling the truth is not the normal, and it's accepted. The lie is accepted, the truth is not accepted. Well, that's goddamn unacceptable. And minimizing a lie is no excuse to cover up a truth. I mean, to be honest with you, you cannot minimize a goddamn lie to cover up a truth and say we've had justice served. Rick Rife means something to somebody. Rick Rife may not have a family, but he may have friends that couldn't come forward because why? The Lewis County law enforcement will turn on him. We'll cut you in goddamn half. There's a fucking bowling alley at the east end of the county next to the morgue that tells you, man, you want your last bowling game, go over there and eat some pulled pork. They're selling pulled pork down there at that bowling alley. What a goddamn insult. Pulled pork down at the bowling alley? Somebody's trying to tell somebody something, and that Millhouse Smokehouse, Morton, Washington, and the pictures that they have of dogs and stuff in the thing of the bowling alley. What dogs have to do with the goddamn bowling alley, I don't know. But it showed 2 dogs there, like Mitzi and George. Mitzi Fairhart and George Wright. And you know what? Like Amelia Fairhart. You know, Mitzi Fairhart, Amelia Fairhart. And I'll tell you what, you'll do a lot of things for a heart. But I'll tell you what, a heart just points straight goddamn down. And that's where you fucking, for the love of Donald Trump and, here, for the love of America, you goddamn just shove Donald Trump right in the goddamn ground and bury the fucker. And I'll tell you another thing about that sheriff being here yesterday. Immediately after he left, 2 trucks and a trailer fucking pulled right there. About enough time for a text message to go out. And to have 2 guys pull up here and pound on a goddamn fucking trailer and stuff out here making a scene when nothing else has been going on. Nothing else. And those people out here, and you know what? I finally got out there and I started going, hey, this ain't no goddamn place to fucking sit there and make noise and goddamn talk out loud out there with no goddamn respect for any of the fucking neighbors. I would like that fucking fire hall just to be goddamn dismantled and a fucking big sign sit there that says no parking here anytime. These goddamn people think that they can come right here and fucking park here and beat on that. And that goddamn sheriff, I'll say goddamn sheriff because you know what? Goddamn it. He fucking knows that I called him out yesterday. And I did call him out, and don't make no goddamn mistake about it. I jumped on that guy's shit like he came to talk to me because he was here. And you know what? When my brother-in-law got home, he came in the yard and he has a refrigerator, you know. He's got a canopy. No, he's got a refrigerator. Well, I go out there, I seen him pull up, and I go over there, and I was going to have to tell him, hey, man, we had some hombre on the property today. I want to tell you because I told him I keep an eye on this property when someone's here. And somebody's here, I'll go and tell you. I'll fucking make sure. I said, I had to come out here, man. I had to come out here because I seen some guy around your place. Well, who was he? Well, he was a sheriff. Oh, what did he want? Well, I told him, and I said I jumped on his ass all night. He says, well, I'll be taking care of stuff when it happens. Like that. I said, no, you won't. You can't do my stuff. You can't do that. I said, and, and he would like to. Well, I got to take care of everything. That looks like my mother and even Bonnie would do, try to protect, protect. No, 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 no. And I said, no, you won't. That's like somebody telling me in Lewis County, and it was Gerald Burks, a friend of mine, Matthew's friend. We pulled up at the store, and I seen a couple guys out there, and they're just like, they look over at me and him, and I'm in my Cadillac, and I got Gerald Burks right there in front of my green Cadillac, and these guys look over it. For one, my car's a sheriff green. No wonder they're looking over there like fucking weird, at me. And then I didn't do it. I thought it was a pretty color, but sheriff's green, that'll do it. I found out. Because I don't look for colors, but everybody, oh, this other color, this color, that color. So anyway, I'm sitting there and Gerald Burks says, I look over there like this, and I look back over at Gerald Burks. I said, oh, people like this looking funny. And he looks right past me, and he looks like this. He goes, do you want me to kill him? I'll kill him for you, John. I go, no, you will not. It's just like Ernie. No, you will not do this. Marietta would go, whenever Marietta would do something, she was fucking cock blocking and stuff. She'd go, oh, I'll take care of that. I told Ernie, I said, Ernie, it's out of the bag. I'm D.B. Cooper, son. You guys can't hide it anymore. You guys can't hide it anymore. I go, face it, Ernie. I come forward. Okay, I come forward today. That don't mean, oh, it's over. It's over. No, Ernie. It's not over. It's not over, Ernie. I said, just because, I said, you guys gotta fucking realize what I'm saying is the goddamn truth, Ernie. And I said, I told him, at one point, I told him, I said, I'm not gonna be here forever, Ernie. And he kind of looked like, I said, someday I'm just gonna, I'll be gone. And I've talked to him about I would like to build a fish hatchery someplace. I got a place picked out. I got a place for a major job for myself. I want to put in my own personal fish farm and release fish out here in the Pacific Northwest, and I wanted to have a salmon derby. And if you catch a fish from my salmon farm, that comes from my place, and you bring it out, you'll win something from my fishing derby. I don't know how big it'll start beginning, but I imagine it could be pretty good. Since I've got lottery balls and stuff, and I was going to buy a lottery machine that's kind of like what you see in the Powerball, it would cost me about $2,000, between $1,500 and $2,000, and I was going to run this all on chatterbait and stuff, and use all the people and stuff, and kind of create a lottery. And I got the balls and everything. I got everything except the machine. I went to buy the machine, and I got all stirred up. All the shit happens around me, and I can't move forward. I have to put my life online, because why? The sovereignty of the United States is something that every American should deal with. I don't have time for this. Oh, and by the way, my brother Jerry made this man drink piss. Shamed him, embarrassed him in front of his friends and stuff, and this guy goddamn went on a rampage when I was a kid, and I was his friend. He beat the fuck out of a lot of people, and Jerry Wright, he got goddamn just stomped the fuck out of, and I goddamn was so happy that Jerry Wright got goddamn beat up by my friend Stan Hoyt. And by the life of my friend Stan Hoyt, I will goddamn beat Jerry Wright just as goddamn bad, if not worse, than this fine young man beat the fuck out of that goddamn bastard for making him drink goddamn piss. And I am very serious. He made this guy drink piss, and he made that guy to go to prison, and he murdered Terry. He bought the gun that came around the corner that murdered Terry Shortridge. And I am telling the truth. If I'm fucking lying, you can goddamn shoot me for all I give a fuck. When your life depends on the stuff that I say, you know, I don't give a fuck. I've never covered for these people. I was forced to comply when I was a child or die or whatever they were doing. I mean, it's been a madhouse. None of them want to talk to me. I'm the 900-pound gorilla. My ex-wife hides behind a preacher. You know? What's the motive? The motive of everybody has everything to do with everything. If it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Donald Trump's nothing but a Republican duck. He fucking does stuff and he fucking puts his head down like a turtle. He don't want to fucking stand up for what he goddamn done. And that their shipwreck that was over there in New York, that there's just the backfire from what happened over there in Russia, perhaps, because, you know, that's exactly what I've said, this cause and effect and this big, they'll do this, then the backburn over there. Well, it appeared to me when I was in bed, Jesus, I was just watching the Russia stuff. I got Putin sitting right here at the podium talking about, you know, whatever. He doesn't like this. It's happening right there on his sovereign on his ground now. He doesn't really want it to happen to Moscow. Maybe it's starting to sink into him that they're gonna fucking start nailing this guy, because you know what? There was a political prisoner that was a real political prisoner, not a G6 hostage or not a Donald Trump hostage either, but a guy that was taken over there that was this here's guy's rival, and he ended up poisoned, getting death. They had that over there. Well, the poison, then that, and then this backburn here. And we know Russia and Donald Trump's in bed together. And by the way, we got the Twin Towers problem in New York. We've got that bridge in New York. And do we have Trump Tower as the tallest tower in Manhattan now? Did those Twin Towers have to come down that was competing with Trump's? And where's the checkerboard from Trump's towers? Because I think that when it's all said and done, you'll find out that the ship was arsoned, sabotaged. Arson is pretty much the same thing. The Twin Towers was terrorist or orchestrated. Donald Trump's right there. He's got the tallest building in Manhattan. You know, I mean, I know a little bit about these buildings in New York, because the first book report that I ever made was on the Empire State Building. Oh yeah, the tallest building in New York at the time. So I don't know whose building is the tallest now. Is Trump's tower taller than the Empire State Building? Or was the Empire State Building taller than the Twin Towers? But I also tell you that the Twin Towers also, the first time that it was attacked, they attacked it with a yellow van. My brother Jim had a yellow van, by the way. Monica Anderson, now she was a victim right here. I could have let that guy know about that. That sheriff that was here. And she was taken away in a yellow van like this, never to be seen again. Like this. My brother Jim had one. Just like that. And when it's this here color, I got a brown one over there too. When you take it out in the light over here, it turns brown. That's why I have a brown one and this one. But it's like the last person that was seen with Monica Anderson, there was a picture of my brother Jim's face, and I took it to Bruce Kimsey. And matter of fact, when I was at Bruce Kimsey's fucking building he works in, it's not his building, he'd like to think it is, the way he stands on top of it. He's achieved such gold by putting this innocent man, Rick Rife, in prison. And you know where you'll find Rick Frederick now? Selling real estate right there where the money's at, harassing people. Jerry Wright is guilty for murdering the Merwins. James Wright was with them, and I contend that Patty L. Wright was with them too. The three of them was together, and they did the crime together. Jerry told me there was 3 of them. And I will say that Jerry Wright has forced it and he has orchestrated it, just like he bought that 30-30 that murdered Terry Lance Shortridge in front of me. My family has tried to discredit me. And even that law officer that was here the other day, yesterday, said, your dad's a hero. My dad was a goddamn criminal. And my dad made sure I goddamn knew enough of it to bring it together in the case. Because he says, John, I'm worried for you because I'm leaving you behind with them. They all orchestrated it. They were hiding behind me. And they were also playing Big John, Big Bad John in that bowling alley to the customers when I was there. And when they'd play that goddamn song, I'd just look at them like, what the fuck are you guys goddamn doing? Because everybody in the bowling alley be goddamn looking at me really goddamn strange. You know? And they all goddamn knew that they were in that bowling alley. The community was being threatened by, they were hiding behind a little child, using a little child as a hostage, and I was the child. And now they're using it with Debbie Ann Marks down there. And Jerry Wright is sitting on the Middle Fork Road, and he's raising Mark Vedder's children, Mark it with an X. And I've talked about this in my videos and stuff. Jerry Wright's hiding behind Mark Vedder's children. He's got children there. He's the Cooper. And he's also added 2 extra lengths onto his garage out back. And you know what? You never know what he's hiding back there because he's the Cooper. And the coop was in the back in Port Angeles, Washington. He had 50 pigeons back there. When my dad came home and he found out that I was in a cage, my sister had a baby in the hospital, I witnessed my dad go out and he had a hammer in his hand. He just grabbed that fence by the claw and he just ripped that goddamn fence right off from the right to the left, like the flag was in the bowling alley that you could see online. You could see all these pictures too. My dad ripped that thing open. He let all those pigeons fucking free. My dad freed the pigeons. He let them out of the goddamn coop and he was goddamn pissed. And during the time that my dad was gone, I believe that was the time that Jackie Stockert's house, behind her house caught on fire, where Jerry and Jim was out there, and they lit a fire out there by the archery bales of hay and stuff that I think may have caught off by woof. The alcohol in it got off and got away from them, because I've had an alcohol fire with a bale of hay before, and it was something else. So it could get away, but they shouldn't have been out there, and they've been doing arson, so I can only say it was arsons. You know? And by the way, the road was terrible here. There's all sorts of stuff. There's neighbors blowing up shit all around me prior to this. For that law officer to come over here and almost act like, you know, stupid. He looked like he was playing a game of stupid. Maybe he was trying to get all the information out of me that I freely shoved down his throat. I told him, go do your job. I'll allow you to be a hero today. And he says, how can I arrest this? You just give me one reason. Well, I told him Millhouse Smokehouse in Morton, Washington, the hijackers' money. And my dad was a criminal and he's a sheriff. And he's to do his goddamn job, and he can put his fucking, he don't want to talk about Republicans and being party, but I don't know. Being evasive when somebody's right here talking to you one-on-one, you are goddamn talking one-on-one with the person. Don't be fucking goddamn weird and don't be playing games with me, because I ain't gonna goddamn play the games with you. And by the way, I just wanted to come back and I wanted to make sure that you guys goddamn knew whatever I was saying. I must have found importance to. Oh, it was the fact that I was already stating these things that happened, and I didn't know. I thought it would happen in Texas, this thing that was happened in Russia. But it was actually maybe in Russia, or maybe it's not even connected, but at least I think that way, and I'm trying to think, what are they doing with this? And what's next? Okay, if it was Russia and it's there, where's the next one going to hit? California or Washington State? Because they're going yin-yang like this, or maybe Florida. But Trump's in Florida. I doubt if it's there. It's probably California or maybe Washington something. But I would keep my eyes open for diligence, and I would probably sit there and say, I wonder what's going to happen next, and is it connected? Because what I see over here, the ship that's connected to Singapore and China, I see espionage. I don't believe just we have Trump one day in court and stuff and all this stuff happening, and then we'll just fuck everything goddamn up. Major fucking portway right there. Jesus Christ, because of this terrorist attack that happened while Donald Trump's trying to fucking do a coup he still won't stop with this coup. He's cuckoo. I hope somebody shoots Mr. Trump. Like I told that law officer yesterday, Mr. Trump's a goddamn criminal. Do your fucking job. You know, I tell him, Donald Trump's a criminal. Do your goddamn job. That fucking sheriff, that sheriff should be goddamn on it so he could be the next fucking hero. Because I told him, I said, I'm going to allow you to become a hero today. I don't want to be a goddamn hero. I want you to be a hero. It's your goddamn job. Go do your goddamn job. You're a fucking sheriff. You're a Washington State sheriff. Go do your goddamn job. You know, if he's a Washington State sheriff, and I'm telling him that, and if his job was to goddamn arrest me, he could goddamn arrest me right there on the spot. I was in his fucking face. But I'm telling him the goddamn truth, and I'm not alluring somebody in a different direction, blowing smoke up their asshole. And anyway, I'm really serious, and I'd love to come out and party with America, because you know what? It's about goddamn time. Thank you for your time, and you have a great day. My name's John Wright. They had the luxury of knowing who my dad was. I never. They put me at odds. They put my life in jeopardy. They put my children's lives in jeopardy. People I know and love had been leaned on. It just goes on and on. And if it wasn't so, none of this would be evidence. This here boy right here was murdered in front of me. Terry Lance Shortridge, John F. Kennedy. His code name is Lance. His code name is Lance. The Lancer bombers just hit the Middle East recently that was sent out of Texas. Connect the dots. The Tube Sock Killers is just an extension of the Zodiac Killer. The killings will continue. It is right there, and it continues right to the rose that's on the Fairheart's home. And by the way, my brother Jerry married a woman named Rose. So do you smell the roses? And he's on the Middle Fork Road because he's in the middle of it. He runs by signs, and he framed Rick Rife, and he's so chicken shit of me. He won't face me. My coward brother Jerry Wright will not face me, you guys. He tells me, he threatens me and other people. I say, rip your head off and shit down your windpipe. This motherfucker, I'd like to grab him by both fucking lips and fucking rip his face apart, watch him bleed out in front of you. Just for a goddamn gift. And it would be a gift for America. Because that guy right there's harmed old people, young people, and children too. I'm doing a service in America right now. I am doing a fucking service for America right now. And believe me, right now when I say this, if you're on any assistance at all, you are a Democrat. The only people that fucking got goddamn money are rich are the Republicans, and they don't care about your gun rights, even though they blow your smoke up your ass about they want to protect your gun rights. No, they do not want to protect your gun rights. Watch my videos. They're playing nothing but a reverse rerun game on all of you guys, and they're playing you like they're playing me, the retard. If you want to be labeled a retard, you follow Donald Trump, because Donald Trump's going to stick you in the ass when it's over. And my name's John Wright, and they're not. And the law enforcement officer, he identified me yesterday that I looked like the picture, and I said, what's the odds that I'd be standing here talking to you?